Good morning and welcome everyone. Sorry we're a few minutes late today. Our local internet provider, as usual, doing some unscheduled work, which interrupted us a little bit this morning.
Well, anyways, welcome to coffee break number 23 here from Kerkrade, from the Netherlands, our European headquarters. And today's coffee break will discuss an essential question, which even Shakespeare could have asked, mixed white or not mixed white. Anyways, we grab our shakers and do a little mixing here for you today. You guys sit back, relax and enjoy, and this is coffee break number 23.
So yes, this week it is a showcase for two more members of our extensive Fuze series, the Fuze Spot and the Fuze Profile luminaires. So both continue to be popular amongst event, TV and theatre lighting designers, and today we're going to show you why. So let's introduce them. On the left we have the Fuze Spot, and on the right we have the Fuze Profile. So as you can see, they've really got the same form factor. They're both compact, they're lightweight, they're easy to handle, and they're easy to rig by just one person. But of course, it's what's inside where the units really shine. So both start with a red, green, blue, mint, and amber LED engine that allows any color you want and any white that you could need. And crucially, this engine is also engineered for a high CRI and impressive color rendering.
Yes, and both these fixtures share many common features like the same parts, engineering aspects and design criteria, but also some key differences. And we'll look at all of this today.
So these units are feature-packed with a high quality of light and optical perfection that makes them popular units, especially for on-camera work for television. And both fixtures are quiet already, but various options of fan mode make them equally popular for theatre or opera use, not to mention the color capability the units also have for those particular applications. And finally, a great selection of gobo patterns and a comprehensive effects package that leaves nothing out makes these units perfect for those rental and events companies too.
Well, firstly, let's start with some of the shared aspects which both units bring us.
So let's talk about family. So the Fuze Profile and Spot join newer additions to the Fuze family, such as the Fuze Wash FR and the Fuze SFX units, to again complete a family of bright, feature-packed units that offer a fast return of investment. So this new Fuze lineup offers performance and extensive features with value in mind. So with the Fuze range, we have our most extensive range at Elation. So if you want an automated ellipsoidal or an outdoor rated power, the Fuze series has it all. And this Spot and Profile form the foundation of that family with a bright red, green, blue, mint and amber engine that is calibrated and optimized to work seamlessly both with each other and other units within the Fuze series. So you can still view many of our previous live streams that covered some of these units as well, some of these other sister products. So if you click on videos above, you can see the coffee break streams that covered the Fuze SFX, that was number 5. Then in number 13, we covered the Fuze Wash FR. In number 15, we covered the Fuze Pendant. And we even covered a sister product to today's Fuze Profile, the Fuze Profile CW, in number 11. That unit is essentially an automated ellipsoidal. So please check out those videos at your leisure and catch up.
Exactly, and actually all other coffee breaks are recommended to watch on our Facebook site. They are informative and even a little bit funny, well, sometimes. So let's continue with facts about LED engine, optics and quality of light of our Fuze Spot and Fuze Profile today.
So we mentioned the Fuze series offers a fast return of investment with value in mind, but of course that cannot mean we compromise on quality. So naturally a Spot or a Profile luminaires, they must project a consistent, even, uniform cover of light for a stage, a set, a piece of scenery, or even for key lighting, keeping those skin tones natural. So these two units are engineered from the ground upwards to make sure that is paramount. So both use the same efficient and optimized 305 watt LED engine with a high base color temperature of 6,500 Kelvin. But these units give us high CRI values and, more importantly, impressive color rendering across the entire spectral range, making them perfect for on-camera work. And the optics give us beautifully even, flat fields for projection, and the large zoom offers us a dynamic, sharp beam for aerial work.
And of course, we always encourage you to check our photometric test reports, which are on our website, elationlighting.eu or elationlighting.com. And these detailed reports give you all the data you need to make the right choice on the quality of light for your future fixtures or for fixtures you might be working with. And there you will see how great or how high the brightness is, even when you work with these high CRI values, which we will see today.
Next up, let's talk about colors. So the LED engine gives us a 5-color array of red, green, blue, mint, and amber, like we said. So this means any color can be dialed in and used quickly and accurately. That mint and amber really expand the color spectrum to allow deeper, more saturated colors that you can only really get with these multi-color engines. So now any color you want is now at your fingertips, whether it be pastels, blood red, or saturated blues.
By the way, this is not a color wheel, what you're seeing right now.
Good point. Yes, indeed. But also, let's not forget about white, too. So those 5 colors mixed allow you to get many different whites to make your subject, whether it be a person, a scenery, or set, pop. So an RGB mix of white used to be good enough back in the days, but now we see it limited the color spectrum, including the mixed white that it actually produces. But this is no longer the case. So with these extra emitters that we have seen coming in over the past years, so with this engine, we add mint and amber, allowing greater access to portions of the color spectrum or gamut, including subtle adjustments to get many different whites.
Well, that's a real advantage of 5-color LED engines, but what about white LEDs?
So a cool white engine, or even a tunable white fixture using only warm white and or cool white emitters have their own advantages, but it really depends on the application and the intended use. But however, these 5-color engines with those multiple emitters help to really widen the gamut with very precise fine-tuning of the color you want to see, and that also includes the whites. So amber, for example, helps us with the fine-tuning of the color temperature control, and the mint improves efficiency, overall output, and also helps with a green magenta shift, which is really important for on-camera work. And as mentioned earlier, both products and others within the Fuze series produce identical colors. So they become the ultimate sister products. The color mixing systems, of course, on board must be smooth, variable, vibrant, showcasing these amazingly bright LED engines.
But the color options do not end there. We will see more other options a little bit later, such as the comprehensive virtual color swap book or quick selection of theatrical colors, and even the full temperature color control is on board. And the green magenta shift is also something we will point out a little bit later, so you get a detailed view about what the colors can do in these fixtures.
So let's make a start and look at these units in a little more detail. Hopefully to give you the full picture, we'll do some projections and some aerial work as well, just to really show you every feature. But of course, as we go along, we're going to talk about photometrics, software and control, etc., etc.
Yeah, send us your comments, thoughts, and questions anytime and interact with us, because that's what we're here for. It's a live stream, and please let us know what you think right now, and wherever you are having a coffee right now and watching our stream about mixed or not mixed. Let us know what's up with you guys, and it's good to be with you.
Indeed. So here is the full bright white output for both. So that efficient and optimized LED engine allows a high intensity for powerful projections and stunning aerial performance. So both units really punch above their weight with a precise optical path, getting us over 10,000 lumens out of the front with a beautiful, crisp, even field and a sharp focus, as you can see.
Yeah, talking about those 10,000 lumens, please always compare the lumen output. This is something I always like to talk to you guys about, because it's very, very important. It's about the efficiency. When you look around at other fixtures, please make sure you first compare the lumen output, which you have on the front lens. And here in this case, we have 10,000 lumen coming out of the front lens. But the LED source only has 305 watts, and that is something very, very interesting, because both the Fuze profile and the Fuze bot deliver more than 10,000 lumen when they are full on, but still they have a CRI of 92. And that is a very important aspect when you look and compare with other fixtures. And the CRI remains that high even when you really have the fixtures working full on, and that is a very important aspect. And there are no compromises about the CRI when you work with them, because the LEDs inside are really calibrated to perfection. So please check out the photometric test reports once again and compare the lumen and the wattage output of a fixture.
And of course, both units need to have an incredible zoom range. So at the narrowest, we go down to 7 degrees. And even at that, you can see at the narrowest beam, it's also flat, even, and crisp. But of course, at the widest, we can go up to over 44 degrees. And as always, an iris can be added in to get yourself an even smaller aperture. Or, of course, even better, you can use that as an effect. Onboard macros allow you to do pulsating effects with full speed control over that as well.
Yeah, and coming back to colors and the already mentioned RGBMA color array. So whatever color you choose, the LED engine allows smoothest, seamless color fades or fastest color changes, as you have seen in the beginning. So that was really not a color wheel, that was just the engine changing the color. And it's that fast because there are no flags built inside, and that is all done on the LED chip. So please try it out when you get your hands on those fixtures.
So I think we'll flip to our other camera and just show those colors up a little closer. So let's go through the red, green, blue, mint, and amber first of all. So hopefully you can see it's a really vibrant color for each of those. And of course, you can blend them to whichever colors you want. And of course, we have color temperature control as well. So this allows you to go variably down to 2,400 Kelvin and bump up in accurate 100 Kelvin increments right up to 8,500 Kelvin. So as you can see, this is 2,400 Kelvin, and therefore in that very tungsten or theatrical range. Let's bump it up to 4K. And this is really, you're moving into the ideal color temperatures for TV use. Let's bump up one more time to 5,600 Kelvin. Of course, you're really entering the daylight range now. And then finally, at the top, this is a real, almost like a steel blue white. It's 8,000 Kelvin, 8,500 Kelvin, which could be of use in certain broadcast situations. And again, these match between fixtures. So 3,000 Kelvin on the spot means 3,000 Kelvin on the profile, and therefore 3,000 on the Fuze Wash FR as well. And also within color options, both units have a variable green magenta shift. So it goes from full minus green, which you can see right now, to full plus green. Let's just snap to that really quickly. So this gives you the ease to adjust the output, for example, when the units may be used in locations or venues where they may operate alongside fluorescent lighting, for example.
And that's a great option when you work with all those different fixtures together, like the Fuze profile, the Fuze spot, the Fuze Wash FR, because those fixtures play perfectly together, and that makes your programming a lot faster. And the fixtures have virtual color or color swatch book on board, so you can dial them in with DMX, and that's very, very easy, makes your life easier when you're programming. And of course, these are matching really, like I said, on all of those products, and it's identical colors. Let's say if you have a pale blue on the spot, it's identical with a pale blue on the profile or on the Fuze Wash FR.
So yes, let's switch to the other camera again, and we'll actually just show you some of those colors quickly. So for example, you've got deep orange, you've got this interesting scarlet, you've got a bright pink, a deep blue, you've got a fern green. So you've really got quite a lot of options there to work with. But next up, let's have a look at gobos. So up until now, both units have really been quite identical. But once we arrive at the gobos, this is where they start to differ a little bit. So both luminaires have 2 gobo wheels inside with carefully selected patterns offering a variety of aerials, textures, breakups. Some are organic, some geometric, yet all with a high contrast. Another reason why these units have really been popular, we've given you a perfect set of stock gobos to use straight out of the box. So let's have a look at the first wheel. So it gives us these 6 fully indexable and rotatable glass gobos, ending with the familiar water effect textured glass. And both fixtures have mostly the same patterns in this wheel, except just one gobo is different.
Yeah, and speaking about differences, there are differences in the market, of course, and a proper indication about the quality of moving heads and all the variety you have in the market is to check how slow and smooth the rotation of each gobo or the motors in general is, because there you can see which perfect movement you have, and here we see it's like really smooth and absolutely clear, and there's no stuttering or shuddering or anything inside, and that's a proper indication for the quality of the fixture, because it's a lot of programming, and it's of course the motors which needs to be for high quality. Yeah, just make sure these aspects as well when you compare fixtures the next time. So it's about movement in general. Just make sure you have a very smooth movement, even if it comes to the gobos or the framing shutters or anything which can move. Check out those little aspects as well.
So let's have a look at the second wheel on both fixtures. So on the spot, it gives us another 6 rotating patterns, whereas the profile you can see on the back gives us 7 static patterns. So you get really good patterns in there that create some nice, interesting effects combined with prisms, and we're going to see that just in a few moments.
But yeah, what else is on board on the Fuze profile and Fuze spot?
So we also have a 360-degree bidirectional animation wheel, which of course can look amazing, carefully combined with prism, color, gobos, and a little playing with the focus. So you can really achieve some nice organic textures. It's fully variable with full speed control in either direction, so we can slow it down to be subtle in its movement like we have right now. Or we can reverse the direction and speed it up considerably, and this is not even the fastest it can go. It can really move lightning fast.
So you can see that even when you use some spots and some profiles together, they share the main aspects, and then you can use them right next to each other without compromises.
So let's add in a water textured glass behind that from the gobo wheel. So you can hopefully you see this on camera. It's a really nice shimmering water effect, and of course you can add in some blue color to really start making it a completed look for yourself. But also we could add in a static gobo behind as well, so you can really see it gives you some nice organic sort of movement. And
again, the movement is really slow and perfect. So again, check these kind of movements on other fixtures to make a fair comparison next time you have a couple of fixtures right next to each other.
So next up, we also have a frost in both units. So let's have a look at that. So it really gives you that nice soft edge beam, so they can really mimic a wash fixture. But even better than that, the frost is probably going to be of more use to wash out a gobo. So let's just put in a gobo and try that. And let's just fade in the frost over 3 seconds to really show you how that just gently diffuses the gobo.
And there are endless creativity options for you to play with. You really need to check them out, and we continue with a little bit of more creativity here for you.
Indeed. So this is the 4-facet prism on board on both units. So this is another instance where the optimized LED engine really proves its value, cutting through this glass to keep the unit punchy and intense. But of course, you need some gobos to make prisms really come alive. So let's throw in a couple of examples here. Again, you've got full speed control in either direction. And one more example. Yeah, really looks nice. So now we'll actually just move a unit into the camera just to give you an impression of how the optics, brightness, and the FX features perform. So for example, this is just one gobo. And I think you'll agree it looks quite amazing. But let's add in some color. And finally, let's just add in a prism to see how that looks. So you really see those beautiful rays of light.
Yeah, amazing effects, and yeah, that unit looks great on camera. So for your next TV show, just use them and play around with those features, and you will see how great they perform and how great even also the CRI is on camera. But these kind of effects, that's what we want to see, and from my point of view, it looks great. Do we have any questions so far? Anyone
no
getting
questions.
in touch with us? Just let us know what you think, and if you have any ideas or questions or what kind of drinks you're enjoying today, get in touch with us. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
So yes, we'll stop blinding you now, but I think you'll agree the unit remains bright, punchy, and eye-catching once you're pointing it into the camera.
Exactly. Now, the spot can take a rest while we will look at the framing of the Fuze profile.
So let's have a look. Each of the 4 blades can fully black out the beam, as you can see. They really can move seamlessly with slow precision, or they can snap incredibly quickly. But at any speed, the repeatability and the positioning remains as accurate as you would demand it to be.
Yeah, and again, this is one of my favorite topics to talk about. When you compare fixtures, please always check if the blades can fully black out, like all our moving heads from Elation can do, because they go from one side to another. There's no stop in between. Unlike other fixtures you have in the market, they cannot fully close. Some of them will close at half of the beam, some of them at 75, but that's so important for your programming and for a professional work. You need to make sure that your framing shutters will fully black out, from 0 to 100% because that makes sure you have a professional fixture and the design and programming can be done much faster. So in this case, all our Elation moving heads can fully black out, and that is very, very important for you guys.
So let's have a look at some example shapes. So let's start with a rectangle, and we're going to fade into this quite slowly just to really show you that the blades really move with the slow precision that we're talking about. And one more slow one. Let's go into the compulsory triangle so you can really see it. It's buttery smooth. But of course, it's capable of snapping much faster as well into each of these shapes, just to show you the capability of this reliable system. So it really snaps properly quickly and remains accurate with each one.
Yeah, that means you can switch between different scenes and different cues very, very fast, and also, on the other hand, very smooth and very gentle, and again, a nice indication for the great engineering we have here on the framing shutter module in the Fuze profile.
And to finish up with framing, just bringing back that triangle just to show you that we have the plus and minus 60 degrees of indexing.
Yeah, it's also very fast to see how that one is moving the position, and that helps you surely for your next show or your next creativity design.
So as we've said, these Fuze luminaires are suited to theatre and TV performances too, so therefore the dimming must be perfect. So we have the usual variable dimming modes and curves on board for various applications, ready to select and ready to use. But of course, our other software enhancements are on board too, you've come to expect from us at Elation. So there's changeable LED refresh rates to eradicate any flicker for on-camera work. But also those 5 different fan modes are on board too to give you a quiet fixture when you need it most. So these luminaires can easily be used in theatres or in opera with various quiet fan modes, offering discrete operation of the unit.
And that is another industry standard which we have set when it comes to silent operation, and something we said about a year or already 2 ago. The mute mode is great for any silent application or any situation, so you can hear a pin drop again, and you really have to try it because that is a very important aspect when you work with fixtures. Make sure you have a mute mode on board, and it's just a snap away to really silence the units and to work in any kind of application. When it's a theater play, you just dial in with DMX the mute mode, and then it's really silent around, and you can continue with the main important thing with your show on stage.
And moving on to control. So DMX is standard, of course, but we also have RDM too. And we have different DMX on board to give you access to either full 16-bit control of almost every parameter, or a simplified channel count for people that like to work that way. And we know some people out there prefer a simpler working style as well when it comes to colors. So maybe you don't want to deal with a 5-color engine. So we have various DMX on board, DMX modes on board that exist, allowing you to use the units simplified with a CMY mode. And of course, that works seamlessly with color pickers.
And by the way, that CMY mode makes it very easy to use the Fuze fixtures along with some other fixtures which have just a white LED engine. So you just dial in the CMY mode, and then you can continue as you have used to in the past with the regular CMY modules in white LED spots. That is just a little idea of what these units are capable of. And if you have any questions about it, just let us know. Get in touch with us, send us an email, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.
Indeed, there's no questions coming in at the moment, but remember we do monitor these, this feed in the coming hours as well. So if you think of anything, just post it in the comments below and we will answer you a little later on. So that really covers the Fuze spot and the Fuze profile. So over 10,000 lumens from compact fixtures. They're quiet, offering powerful projections, stunning aerials with their exceptional gobo collection. Every color is achievable, and it has a finely tuned FX package, and finally optics to make everything look seamless and faultless. Both have really become very valuable members of the Fuze family for us.
Exactly, and check out also our extended warranty on the LED engine, because that is also something very unique in the market, and that makes the unit very, very interesting. So we got you covered in any situation. Check out our website, and there we get the full information from you, from the photometrics to the lumen output to the extended warranty on the LED engine, and so on and so on. And check out our website. It's worth it, definitely, to see what we have for you.
Indeed, and feel free to give your local Elation dealer or distributor a call. They'd be happy to demo the fixtures for you or let you have a demo unit, I think. So I think that's really it for today. No questions. It's been a good one today. And we're going to see you in 3 weeks, hopefully, for another live stream. So it's a goodbye from me, but thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being with us. Take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.